For the invitation to show in Noisy, there was an artist residency beforehand, and during that residency I decided to develop a new working method because the time was quite short and it was important for me to get a deeper understanding of Noisy. And so with the team at the Galerie, we made it possible for me to speak with and meet different groups of people from Noisy in the form of workshops. So one was with the Maison des Solidarités and the other was Entraide à tous, which was a group of French language learners. That was a way to be able to understand people's daily lives in Noisy and a little bit of their memories of being in the city. Also I was interested in hearing some of their hopes, some of the challenges they face. And another aspect of wanting to meet people in Noisy was sort of more of a professional level, and that was people from the archives. We met with historians from the Ville de Noisy and some of the people in cultural administration. And what was particularly interesting then, of course, from archives and from the history of Noisy was to learn about the bombardment of Noisy, the fact that it was completely destroyed, but then also to learn about the rebuilding of Noisy, the towers behind us, and also the 1970s kind of atmosphere in Noisy-le-Sec, which was pretty difficult conditions with toilets in the courtyards, not necessarily access to water in the flats. And therefore the towers that we find in Noisy, the PVC towers, really represented a kind of future vision of clean, affordable housing. One strong aspect of a lot of the art objects in this exhibition is design and urban design. And so it's about thinking about how public space functions and therefore the design of public space. It's about thinking how intentional is that design. And so one of the objects in the gallery is the Alexanderplatz, which is the giant subterranean transportation network, which seems completely incredible as an object. And I think one really has to ask oneself when looking at it, how much was that intentional and how much was it design based on need and solution problem solving. I think you can also think about that when you think about the HLM towers that we have around us. Also, how much of it is intentional design in that, of course, the towers in themselves are offering clean, affordable housing, but it's more the spaces at the bases of the towers that I'm thinking about is how interesting is that public space? How comfortable do I feel in it? How much is it creating a space where I want to spend time? And around the gallery, you really notice the new steps to design public space in Noisy to make it more encouraging for people wanting to gather. So nicer green spaces, more vegetation that falls onto the plaza floor, benches, in comparison to the Plaza des Découvertes, which really feels sort of neglected and sad and makes me feel like I'm not even intended to spend time in there, or it's even, the city doesn't even find it desirable for me to spend time there, which I find surprising because there is a huge population who uses that market plaza when it's not a market. So all of the adolescents of Noisy play basketball and hang out, and you kind of question why can't they also have a space that is colorful and cleanly painted and well lit. So I find the intention behind how space is designed is crucial. Also thinking about Noisy would be the future projects that are coming, and especially in the north of Noisy along the canal and where there's going to be the Olympic swimming pool. And on the map in the gallery you can see some of those projects, and I think some of the questions I have is, in themselves, they may be interestingly designed buildings or interestingly designed spaces, but I would like to question what they add to the whole community of Noisy and how the people of Noisy will also benefit from those new projects and that kind of new gentrification that is coming in.
Étonnamment ensoleillé. Un homme âgé avec une barbe blanche, vêtu d'une djellaba de couleur crème et d'un kufi, leur dit que les gens n'aiment pas être contrôlés à longueur de temps. Niveau -1, 4 seaux bleus sont placés pour récupérer les fluides. Le contrôleur sourit et dit qu'il ne fait que son travail. Il fait chaud. Bang! Un homme laisse tomber sa valise. Le train de 13h40 est plein. Son d'une pièce de monnaie qui roule par terre. Il est difficile de trouver une place sur le quai. Un homme blanc demande de l'argent, va et vient. Un homme noir part tout seul. Son d'une machine qui rend la monnaie. Une fille noire porte une robe jaune avec un grand numéro 5 sur le dos. Une femme avec un grand bouquet de fleurs. Une femme entièrement habillée en bleu. Un homme blanc entièrement tatoué. Poussette, poussette. Un jeune homme noir porte un collier brillant. Une guitare. Un jeune homme asiatique en survêtement. Un homme âgé blanc énervé marche en
At this time, parallel to this exhibition, there's also an exhibition of my work in the center of Paris at Galerie Jérôme Poggi. An interesting piece of mine that links the two exhibitions would be work based on Gare du Nord. In this exhibition, we have a large painting. At Galerie Jérôme Poggi, we have a sculpture of Gare du Nord and a new drawing. The painting that hangs in the Noisy exhibition has a lot of notes that are in English, and it was kind of an exciting opportunity while I was in residency to develop a way to translate that and make that accessible to Noisy-le-Sec's public. And so I've developed a sound piece that plays throughout the gallery. I think it also, that sound piece adds an atmosphere where this whole exhibition becomes urban and becomes there's more of a rhythm and a pace, there's an aggressivity, it becomes, when's bousculé, I don't even know how to say that in English. And that sound piece also plays at Galerie Jérôme Poggi and is a link from the center of Paris to the périphérique, and is sort of coming from Noisy-le-Sec to Paris, one would always pass through Gare du Nord, and I found it an interesting moment to connect the two spaces.